Every weekend, this group of residents from in and around Mumbai gather here to learn more about organic farming and how to grow and harvest vegetables. None of them really had to travel very far from their homes. What looks like rural farmland is in fact a food forest built on the campus of the Medical Institute, ACTREC, or the Advanced Center for Treatment, Research and Education in Cancer in Kharghar, Navi Mumbai. About 20 kilometers from Mumbai city, Kharghar used to be an industrial area. But over the last 2 decades, it has expanded into a growing megapolis. Zishan is a writer who lives in Kurla in central Mumbai. He has been coming here for a month now and is part of a group of 500 volunteers responsible for the upkeep of the forest.
I come from the most concrete part of Bombay, which is Kurla, and it's all about just buildings and slums. And I was lucky to find this farm like so close to Bombay in Kharghar. And as soon as I found it, I got in touch with Manasvi, who runs it, and there we go. And it's been about a month since I've been here, and I've been trying to be regular, and the effects have been primarily like, I can sense that there has been a lot of groundedness now. There is not a lot of existentialism anymore. I can understand why are we here and why is it so important to stay connected to the roots and, get your feet grounded. And it's very important to have access to nice and fresh veggies instead of having, all these injected veggies out there.
The Earthen Roots Initiative, as it is called, is working towards creating and empowering urban communities to run self-sustainable natural ecosystems within urban landscapes. Originally meant to be converted into a garden for the Child Care Center located within the Cancer Institute, 12 years later, this food forest helps provide residential pediatric cancer children with wholesome food.
So St. Jude Child Care Center wanted to have a backyard ornamental garden, so for beautification, and it looks good and all. Because this whole place that you see that has become into a food forest was not like this in those in that year. It was a construction debris, dumping ground. So they wanted something, some plants to look for it to look beautiful. So we suggested rather than growing something ornamental, why not let's plant something, to grow something edible, which will obviously have flowers and it will be green and everything. And it will also benefit the pediatric cancer patients. That was the primary reason to grow, to help them with their, recovery with food. Nutrition is a very integral part of their recovery.
Manaswini Tyagi, who founded Earthen Roots back in 2012, is trained in the practice of permaculture. But she struggled in the initial years to find a place in the city to grow her own food. That's when she tried her hand at multi-layer farming.
So at every level we grow something, right? So first layer is underground, which would be your root vegetables, your radish, carrot, sweet potato, all those things. Then ground cover is something like coriander, methi, spinach, lal mard, hara mard, all that, shepu and all is your ground cover. Then you can grow something like a shrub, small herbs hai aapka ya kuch hai. Yeah. Then next is your brinjal, your tomatoes that become a little taller, and then next is bhindi. So all this is growing in same bed. So we don't follow like monocropping. We do multi-cropping and multi-layer farming also. So in that way, I only do seasonal vegetables and everything.
The biggest beneficiaries of this urban farm are the 41 children of St. Jude Child Care Center who get to eat farm fresh vegetables as part of their daily diet. Most of the pediatric patients come from low-income families who use this residential facility free of cost.
जैसे जो भी ट्रीटमेंट के लिए आता है हॉस्पिटल से उनको ट्रीटमेंट तो होता ही है साथ, लेकिन उनको बाहर रहना जो कॉस्टली पड़ता है, तो सेंट जूड उनको फ्री ऑफ एकोमोडेशन देता है। साथ ही साथ सेकंड उनका टेंशन जो होता है खाना बनाना, तो हम लोग उनको वीकली राशंस देते हैं, सप्लीमेंट्स देते हैं, वेजिटेबल फ्रूट्स देते हैं, फ्री ऑफ कॉस्ट में देते हैं। हम डेली उनके लिए मिल्क देते हैं। सेंट जूड उनको पूरी तरह से हेल्प करता है वेजिटेबल फ्रूट और राशन के हिसाब से, कि वो अपना खुद का फ्रेश खाना खुद के टेस्ट के हिसाब से बनाएं और बच्चे को जितना भी हो सके वो हेल्दी रखे।
Among the many advantages of this place is the effect it has had on the well-being of some of its regular visitors. 54-year-old Babita has been volunteering here for close to 5 years. The experience has been especially nourishing for her son, Bharat, who has been diagnosed with autism.
I wanted him to be a part of this ecosystem, which he seems to really love. He used to enjoy coming here as a guest, and now he's a volunteer. So like he enjoys weeding, he enjoys pulling out tomatoes from plants. Tomatoes are his most favorite vegetables. So he loves pulling out tomatoes from plants. So now when there's a tomato in our own balcony garden, he's like, "Amma, tomato!" I mean, like there, a sudden eureka moment for him. Oh, these things come from plants. Now let it go. Now say bit.
This urban farm, Manaswini tells us, produces a little more than 23,000 kilograms of oxygen and is responsible for sequestering about 4,000 kilograms of carbon dioxide each year. More and more urban communities, especially across metro cities, are waking up to the need for having access to alternative food systems. Produce that is locally and sustainably grown. Some of these food systems today don't even require you to step out of your homes. From the outside, it would be hard to imagine that this residential housing complex in suburban Mumbai has nearly 900 square feet of an urban farm set up inside one of its apartments.
So as you can see, this is our growing room.
This indoor microgreens farm is run by 29-year-old Saurabh Nagri. After the COVID pandemic, Saurabh wanted to start an enterprise that could meet the rising demand for healthy organic food amongst urban consumers.
When we look at any other vegetable, how it is coming into a city and how we are eating it, it is more or less being sourced from somewhere which is outside the city. It's very difficult to be able to manage to grow a real quantity of vegetables which can serve a lot of masses within the city itself because of the constraint of space that we generally go through. So here when I understood about microgreens, I could see that the constraint of space was not as much compared to other vegetables. So giving fresh food access, like same day harvested, same day given food, that kind of an experience can only happen when you're working on something like this.
Microgreens are young seedlings of edible vegetables and herbs. Considered to be superfoods, they are said to contain nearly 40 times more nutrients than mature vegetable leaves. Rich in antioxidants, vitamins and minerals, microgreens grow easily in small spaces, indoor or outdoor, with minimal sunlight or water. Ready to be harvested within about a week, they can also be grown in cocoa peat or vermicompost. In this germination room, nearly 15 different varieties of microgreens are grown, harvested and packed to be delivered directly to over 25 customers every day.
We call them superfoods.
Nutritionist and professor Dr. Jagmeet Madan tells us how microgreens can naturally substitute nutrient supplements in our diet.
Microgreens are essentially valued for the micronutrients, so they are not they are the additions to your diet, not to add calories, right? These are the additional inputs to add quality to your diet. And by quality, we are essentially looking at important vitamins like vitamin C, important vitamins like riboflavin, or important minerals like magnesium, potassium, zinc. So some of these micronutrients are needed by the body in very small amounts. But one must remember that there's a difference between popping a pill and consuming something in a natural form.
Beneficial as they might be, commercially grown microgreens, like in this case, often come at a high price because of factors like real estate cost, manpower, and other overheads. A 50-gram box like this one, for instance, costs between 100 to 150 rupees. But what if we learned to grow microgreens in our homes ourselves? 50-year-old Suvarna Kotkar works as an attendant in Sir Vittaldas Thakarse College of Home Science in Mumbai. On her feet all day, she tells us how having a nutritional meal is almost a luxury.
भाग दौड़ होती है, सुबह 5 बजे से उठो, घर पे काम करो, कॉलेज में आओ, सब दिन भर खड़े खड़े भागो ऑल सीज़न में थोड़ा थकान से आ जाती है, तो बाहर का खाना खा के और हेल्थ ख़राब हो जाती है।
7 दिन के बाद आपको ये पत्ते दिखना स्टार्ट हो जाएंगे, इतने लंबे 7 दिन 8 दिन के बाद आप उसको निकाल सकते हो, खाने में यूज़ करें।
At this college kitchen garden, Suvarna and other non-teaching staff are being taught how to grow microgreens by their home science department.
We had got our entire non-teaching staff tested. This was basically CBC count, basic blood test which is usually done. So the blood glucose levels, cholesterol levels, lipid levels, all of this. So we found that many of them had deranged levels. So we thought that why not start something for these people, because they were completely clueless about what is to be done. They were only taking medicines. There were no lifestyle changes or no diet related changes. When you look at nutrition in India today, even today, if you look at this, if you look at lower socioeconomic status or probably middle income also, the only idea which people have is weight loss and weight gain. That's the only thing. Nobody talks about, having food or looking at diet which will help you live a better quality of life. So they are very reluctant when it comes to making lifestyle changes.
सीजनल सब्जियों और नाटी के साथ सैलेड बनानी होती है, तो मैं कैबेज, फिर गाजर, टमाटर और काकड़ी।
To ensure they actually incorporate these lifestyle changes, the college also teaches their staff simple microgreen recipes. Suvarna and 47 of her colleagues now grow these in their very homes.
सलाद बनाते हैं, सब्जी, ये चीला तो बनाते ही हैं। अभी इसमें हर एक अलग अलग तरीके से इंग्रेडिएंट्स ये यूज़ करके हम चीले बनाते हैं घर पे, और खाने के लिए हेल्दी भी होता है वो। और ये सब अपने पास रेडी रहता है, कभी भी बनाओ, थोड़ा सोचो अपने लिए अच्छा है, थोड़ा कुछ खा लो, काम करने जाओ, तो इससे पावर सेव रहता है, तो बहुत फ़ायदेमंद है ये अपने लिए।
While solutions like these are imperative in addressing the nutrition gap amongst urban populations, one of the biggest challenges here is, of course, that of space. Manaswini is currently struggling to save her food forest from the construction of a new road inside the ACTREC campus that threatens to uproot her community farm.
Last year, it's been like 7-8 months now, we were told that there is a road that's going to come through the farm in an L shape, so straight, and then this is a part of that road also. So when that road construction starts, the whole farm will go. So that's pretty disheartening, because really expect people to have some sensitivity towards patches like this. I mean, this is a beautiful place, it's a beautiful setup and ecosystem for people, for biodiversity and all that.
The road construction has already led to the loss of 20 fruit trees and destroyed the turmeric plants that grew here.
So if you see this leveled patch here, it was exactly how you see our forest, the food forest. It was all full of fruit trees, and there was a lot of turmeric underground. we didn't get enough chance to do anything about that plants, and then I requested them to at least transplant those plants so that they get a chance to survive. But in the heat of May, this is not the time to transplant. Obviously none of them survived, so 20 trees have already gone, and these are in waiting now.
Several rounds of meetings with authorities have yielded no result, Manaswini tells us. But she has decided to soldier on and recreate another food forest for the sake of her community.
Personally, then there's no need for me to take all this challenge again and go through this pain and do all this magajmari. Kyun karu? I mean, I don't need to. I can relax at home and do my other stuff and all. Why should I do that? But then I feel that this farm, this community has taught me so much, has made me what I am today. So I think I kind of owe it to the people who have come there. There are more than 10,000 people that have visited the farm in all these 12 years. If I can recreate this space and I can, let them continue coming there and spending time and doing what they have been doing, coming and doing for so many years, then I think I should do it.
Thanks for watching Eco India. If you like the story, please give us a thumbs up and subscribe to Scroll.in on YouTube.